the day before Halloween, and we've got Haystak. So I recently knew about this man, and he's a white rapper that kind of pushes the country genre somewhat. And country rap is something that may or may not start forming more on my channel, because I've got some Kid Rock albums that I would like to do, but I do not know how well I'm going to translate to country rock and eventually just playing country. So I'm thinking that whether or not this works will just depend. But Haystak makes things fun, and it's not, and usually when you think of the country, you think of the fact that there's not as much to do because it's removed from a lot of things like grocery stores and bars and clubs and movie stores. So obviously this is kind of something, but I still think that this album is rather fun. So I was proud of it, and I like the fact that Haystak can bring topics to the table, because one of my normal complaints for a lot of things I've been reviewing lately is when the energy is kind of toned down, I stop liking the songs. Like if they make a song about the fact that they just broke up with somebody, or that they're going through depression or something like that, I usually don't like the song, and it's mainly because the production really blows. And that is something, if you want to keep the person's interest, you have to have as good of sounding music as you do on your best songs. And I'm not saying that this entire album did that, but it did do it on songs I wasn't expecting to. So Haystak has stuff to say. He wants you to know that he's not like the most, complete out and about person. He has his slice of life and he likes it, and it's really, the slice of life that we see is not terribly boring. The answer is you can smoke to this. It's got some real Southern fried type stuff. I'm wanting to hear a more recent record from Haystak, because this is way back to 2005, exactly 10 years ago. So I'm thinking, I wonder how much, because I know his vision probably improved. So Keep It Southern, Boo Hoo Hoo, We Roll, Bang Bang. These are some songs to smoke to. And I'd also say I Ain't No Pinup. But the production, this is where there were some songs on here that really sounded almost too country and a little bit too glamorous at the same time. There's a couple on here like All By Myself and Middle of Nowhere that sound that way. But a lot of the stuff that he does is still pretty, it's got like a touch to it that is an improvement. So yeah, I'm thinking that let's talk about the unheard songs. So there were 8 out of 16 songs that I liked. We Roll, I Ain't No Pinup, Boo Hoo Hoo, Keep It Southern, Kick They Back In, Bang Bang, You Hard, Mama. Now I'm going to talk about Bang Bang and Mama are not party songs, but both of these have pretty thumping production. I Ain't No Pinup and We Roll and Keep It Southern are some of the more kind of car and cruising and outgoing cuts. And then, like, the other ones just sound like a Southern album. It's going to sound real kind of just Southern fried. That's the only way to really describe it. But I do like where this is going. It's Southern, but the style is not, it needed to be a little bit more distinguished. That's the only thing, is it feels kind of like it's something to fade into the background. And I feel like if it would have been more shooting to kill, it probably would have done a lot better. If we would have gotten like the best smoking song, the best car song, the best dance song or going out song. If it would have had the best women's song, if it would have had like these songs and not just been as kind of lazy with it, it probably would have fared a lot better. And, obviously we've got people like 3-6 Mafia who do this on the daily. So this is just kind of like a more country and mellow version of 3-6 Mafia, which may aggravate some people. But I do recommend this release. So I'm going to give it a 5.5 out of 10 because I liked 8 out of 16. That's still a ways to go, but I'm thinking that this is still pretty good. Yeah, I mean, the main reason I didn't like the rest of those songs was because it loses some flair and interest when it's just like I complained about earlier, when the beats are not as enticing, it really starts to lag down and you kind of get bored. But the future, I don't know what Haystak's been up to, but he's dropped a lot of mixtapes. I mean, he's dropped a lot of albums. I think he might have dropped a few mixtapes. So is this album Social? I'm going to give it a 4 Social, because I really don't know many people who've talked about this man. Can it be topped? Yes, but this is still something you need to take a look at. Even if you don't know him that well, and even if you haven't heard of any of his music before. So I give this album a 5.5 and a 4 Social. Subscribe for more fun.